What's going on, everyone, as the room starts to fill up? Hope everyone's having a great week coming to an end here. Hope everyone is happy, healthy, living well, and excited to learn here. Just go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat box just to confirm that you guys can hear me all right. Pretty sure I already know the answer. All right, cool. We're getting some 1s here. What's going on, guys? Good to see everyone here. There's actually there's actually a lot of people here compared to the last call, so happy to see everyone here. Where are you guys calling in from? Go ahead and let me know where you're calling in from. All right, we got Canada, Rhode Island, Arizona. I'm actually coming out to Arizona for a little getaway in a couple of weeks. We got Germany, Texas, H-Town, Central Florida, Germany, New Zealand. I've been to New Zealand, beautiful country. Hawaii, another one from Florida. We got Seattle, Australia, Singapore, New York City. We got Owen from London. I love London, one of my favorite places. We got Puerto Rico in the house. We got Houston, Ireland, Colorado, Toronto, San Diego, Philippines, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Georgia. Wow, this is pretty cool, actually. It is pretty amazing that we can be here, and there's people all over the world, literally all over the world, tuned in, listening in, all on the same mission. And that mission is to better their lives. That mission is to create freedom. That mission is to create a business that serves people and allows you to do what you want with your life, because you could build a business online. You can scale it as big as you want, and we're all here on the same mission. So really cool to be here. Really happy to be on live with you guys. We have something amazing in store for you today. And I just wanted to start this call out with just a little tidbit. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but we did a lot of e-commerce coaching over the last few years, and just something to remember. If you're here, congratulations, you're taking the right steps. If you're already successful, good stuff, cheers to you. But one thing to note, guys, is there's really one thing that separates the people that are going to win and crush it and excel in this business versus the people that are going to try things, burn out, and give up. And I'm assuming you want to be in the first group. You guys want to excel. You want to do well. So the thing that really separates people the most is simply people who are excited versus people who are scared. And it sounds really simple, but some of you guys wake up every morning and you're like, I'm on this planet. I got millions of people I could sell products to. I can create awesome stores. I could do cool things with my business. And you're excited to test products. You're excited to learn new things. And if you're one of those people, you're going to do really well. Now, unfortunately, most people are not like that. Most people they wake up and they go through the same thing, and they're actually fearful to start things. They're skeptical. They see success. They learn from people, and they don't believe in themselves because their life has not allowed them to believe in themselves yet. And they go into calls like this with a lot of skepticism and a little bit of hope. And if I could just, make that skepticism turn into excitement for just some of you guys, I've done my job here tonight. And that would make me feel really good. So if you guys are excited to learn, give me a yes in the chat box. Let me see who here is excited to learn some good stuff and create a better life for themselves. All right, we're getting yes sirs and yeses across the board. Well, I don't want to keep ranting. I do like the sound of my voice a little bit, but I'm sure you guys don't want to just keep hearing me talk. I'm sure you're here for the exciting special guest that we have for you tonight. The guest we have is one of the best in the industry as far as methodology, as far as having systems in place that you can stick to, not just concepts, guys, but literal systems. You take this and you do that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys want things like that. You don't want just ideas. You want tangible actions. So the guy we have on tonight, Justin Woll, is going to show you how he does product research and how you guys can find winning products for your store. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Justin here. Can you guys, Justin, you want to jump on and say hi?
Yeah, for sure. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys are doing incredible today. I got a really great presentation prepared for you guys. that I really hope you guys will like. It's having to do with product research, and I think you guys really need some structure and kind of consistency in your product research methodologies. And I'd be honored today to present you with one of my product research systems that I have here in order to help you guys find some consistency in your business.
Awesome. And like usual, we also have big B-Rad in the house tonight. Brad is our Chief Operating Officer at Zendrop. And if you guys are using Zendrop, you've probably heard from Brad. Brad's always there to help, and his mission is to serve people and make your lives easier. So Brad, you want to say hi?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? Really excited to have Justin on tonight. I'm not sure if I'm cutting out a little bit. You guys froze up there for a second, but hopefully it's all good. Just to touch really quickly on what Jared said at the beginning, I think that happens a lot of the time. People get more into that scared, fearful group because of potentially the people around them, the people that they hang out with. So hopefully you guys can hang out with the three of us tonight and get some good positive energy and push forward and do great things. So really excited to have you, Justin.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to be here, and I can't wait to get rocking and rolling to drop these guys and gals some incredible value tonight.
All right, guys. So before we pass the screen off to Justin, what we're going to do is he's going to give a presentation. If you guys have questions, just put your question in the Q&A box. Now, last call, we tried to call people up live so you can actually jump on, you can get on camera, you can talk and interact. We ran into some technical difficulties. This call, I think we got to figure it out. So if you have questions, write them in the Q&A box. And if you want to be called up, we'll get to your question and we'll call you up and we'll give it a shot. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Justin and let him kick off his presentation.
Cool. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, guys. Give me a little 1 in the chat down below if you guys can actually see my screen. Hopefully I got this Zoom thing down by now. Let me know if you guys can see. Give me a 1 in the chat below, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You see my beautiful face there? Now you're probably sick of looking at it already, right? All right, guys. So first and foremost, okay, welcome to Thursday night's live stream. Okay, we're going to be going through some real core concepts for you guys today to actually understand how to product research, the right way to product research, and the way to put your time to the most effective efforts possible. Okay, there's a big difference between grinding and actually making effort. Okay, and actually making progress. Okay, it's important you guys understand that. What I'm about to show you is a system that's done already multi-8 figures in student sales. Okay, and it's very important you guys understand this because this is not just some random system out of the cereal box. This has been proven and battle tested for a reason and given to you guys today to go ahead and use and go home, log off the live stream with to go ahead and start using tonight. So you guys are going to leave today with a product research system. So if you have a pen or paper nearby, please do me the favor. Okay, go ahead. Take notes, okay? Definitely make sure you're recording this session if you're not, okay? It's gonna be very important that you guys understand what we're doing here, okay? And I want you guys to be able to go back and whatnot and ask questions, okay? So first and foremost, let's go ahead and start off with what we call our actual proven product research system, okay? The proven product research system is a collection of what I call multi-platform verification that's going to allow you to essentially understand what's hot, what's not, and what's trending. Okay, now there's a big difference between this and product research softwares and whatnot. This is showing you, okay, this is showing you with real data what's selling now, what's not selling now on platforms like YouTube, Watch Count, eBay, AliExpress, a lot of different platforms. Okay, we call this multi-platform verification. Okay, and what that means is that what you're looking at is going to be very consistent as long as you put in the work to go ahead and make sure it follows the system, okay? Meaning that if you use a system to find products, you will have a higher hit rate than just choosing random products off softwares, okay? Meaning you will save money and make money a lot more, efficiently. I don't want to say quick, as money's really never quick, but I've had people find like 30, 40K a day products on their first or second time testing items with the system, which is cool. Okay, so I want you guys to understand this, okay? So if you guys are ready for me to go ahead and start getting rocking and rolling, throw me another 1 down below. I just want to make sure you guys are ready to roll before I go through this because I talk fast and I have a lot to show you guys. And I just want to make sure you guys are ready to actually go through. Okay, lots of ones. Mike says he's ready to roll. Love it, Mike. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start going into e-com psychopath mode, okay? So bear with me. Now, okay, with that being said, these are the tools you guys will actually need to put forth in the system to make sure it's actually effectively usable. First and foremost, we have the Beyond Six Figures Product Index, which is a list of criteria that I'll be going through on our next slide. Okay, it probably would make sense if I went ahead and made it full screen. Amazing. Okay, so we got the Beyond Six Figures product index, which is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, we'll be going through it shortly. What's up, Russell? We got Google Trends, Amazon, Unicorn Smasher, or Jungle Scout extension. Okay, if you got a little bit extra cash in the pockets, go with Jungle Scout. Okay, Unicorn Smasher is just a cheaper alternative. They both do the same thing. They're both the extensions that we're looking to get here. Okay, AliExpress, Facebook Audience Insights, Google Sheets, 4-hour product arsenal, YouTube, and watch count. Okay, so these are the list of what you will need to actually use my system. Okay, make sure you guys go ahead and write that stuff down for me, please. That'll be phenomenal. Okay, perfect. Let's go to the next slide here. Now, this is the product index, guys. Okay, the product index is a list of criteria that are commonly found in winning products across the board. Okay, first we have improves confidence. People love, okay, items that improve their confidence. They're going to spend money on these things that make them feel good. Okay, it's an emotional connection. Confidence. Improves convenience. We're lazy by human nature. Okay, if there's a way to make something easier for us as human beings, guess what? We're going to do it. Okay, we're going to do it. We're lazy. Okay, so improving convenience is massively, massively important. Then we have fills a void or solves a problem. Okay, filling a void or solving a problem is one of the flagship ideas when someone says, I want to be an entrepreneur. Well, go solve a problem. And it couldn't be more true. It's very true. Okay, so solving a problem and filling a void is one of our actual criteria as well. Okay, now saving people money, okay, is also known as an investment. And if we could go ahead and showcase to our individuals, our potential consumers, that our product is an investment, the chance of them actually going through and buying the product are a lot higher. Okay, because investments perceived value is a lot higher. Whatever you do in your business, make sure you're pushing the perceived value through the roof. That's what's going to make people comfortable with spending a lot of money. Okay, now with this being said, we also have saves people time, which is phenomenal. Okay, saving people time is essentially moving you through and also an investment, saving you money. Okay, time is very much so an asset, and it's the only one that you actually can't get back if you lose it. So you want to really stress that in your products a lot as well. With that being said, okay, we also have extremely unique items that are extremely unique. Typically cannot be found in brick and mortar stores across the globe. So classify extremely unique as products that can't be found in brick and mortar stores. Okay, then improves quality of life. Anything that we can improve the quality, if we can improve the quality of someone's life, they're going to want to obviously buy our product, right? Things like making someone warm, making someone, feel more confident out somewhere, right? So they kind of work hand in hand with confidence and improving the quality of the overall life, right? So for example, let's say you have a camping product, that product that you could sip water out of and it automatically, purifies it. Okay, that's improving the quality of your life, right? Of the life around you during camping, which is great. Okay, we have high perceived value. Okay, like I talked about before, massively, massively important. Okay, and then women dominated. Okay, I personally only market in women dominated markets just because I find it a lot easier just to make money in that market. It's a lot less stress on me in terms of kind of, showing the consumer what the product's about. Women are a lot more, quick to purchase and they buy more frequently. So I like to stay in women dominated markets personally myself. And what you guys must make sure you do, okay, is meet 3 at least of the 9 criteria to pass the product through the product index. Okay, to pass the product through the product index, you need 3 of the 9 criteria met. Okay, so make sure you guys have these written down. It's super, super important. Okay, with that being said, okay, our next step is going to be Google Trends. So I want to make sure you guys see this real quick, okay? All of the tools are in exact order for you guys to use them, okay? For you guys to use them. And by the way, this is straight value, guys, here, okay? So I want you guys to be paying attention. There's no pitching, none of that bullshit going on, okay? So make sure you guys are actually understanding what's happening here because this is real stuff that's going to help you guys actually be successful in this business and not spin tires with no systems, okay? So we have all the way from top to bottom, the BSF Product Index, Google Trends, Amazon, Unicorn Smasher, AliExpress, Audience Insights, Google Sheets, YouTube Watch Count, in that particular order. So make sure you have them written down or take a picture with your cell phone. That's the right order. Okay, that's the right order, which is phenomenal. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you guys one more time, maybe 10 more seconds to go ahead and write down the actual product index points real quickly. So guys, write these down. Okay, I'll give you another 15 seconds to go ahead and get them down because we got a lot to go through. So I got to go kind of fast, but I'll keep it decently slow so you guys can go ahead as well and see what's going on here. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now, what we're going through here, guys, okay, is the first step of the product research system, which is Google Trends. In Google Trends, what you want to go ahead and do is make sure you're understanding what's going on around you, okay? What people are buying around you, what your family's buying, what your mom's buying, what your dad, sister, cousin, brother, whatever are buying. What are their interests, okay? What's going on around you? Are there any current events happening? Are there sports events happening? How's the weather? What month are we in? All of those things I just named could give us data points and information as to what is selling well now, which is super, super important you guys understand that. Okay, so what we do here, let's say it's winter. Okay, we're about to enter the winter market, which is phenomenal. Okay, in winter, we could go ahead and think of things like jacket, coat, scarves, gloves, skis, snowboard. There's a bunch of things that you think of when you think winter. So when I'm at this step, I like to go ahead and do the following. I like to go ahead and think what's going on around me and list all of those other ideas that I thought about before to help me kind of get past marketer's block. This is going to be the hardest portion of the entire system, but the entire rest of the system is black or white, which is phenomenal. So with that being said, let's go ahead with the beanie example. Let's see if we could go ahead and start selling a beanie, okay, a beanie. So what we're going to go ahead and do is type in the most broad term that we can think for our product possible. So the niche or the most broad term for beanie would be, okay, outdoor winter apparel, right? Correct. But when you're searching for products with product research, you don't want to look at the broad overall market. You want to go ahead and look at something a bit more pinpoint that has to do with your product. So for this example, instead of winter apparel, we're going to go ahead and do beanie, because I'm wondering if beanie will sell well. We're halfway through October into November, December. I want to be early to go ahead and sell winter products. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's go ahead and type in the general idea of beanie, because that's what we used our marketing logic to go ahead and say, this might be a good idea to test. So Google Trends is the first step. We'll type in beanie. Let's go ahead and type in it. We type in beanie, and one thing I want to let you guys know is to always use singular terms. When you use singular terms, you're going to get better search results. You will not get better search results by using plural terms, because less people are searching for plural terms when they're searching on Google to actually buy the product. Therefore, you want to use the language that the consumer is shopping with. Meaning, we're not going to type in beanies that I can sell. We're going to type in beanie, because if I was looking for a beanie, I'd type in beanie, correct? So would you guys, right? Type in beanie. Let's go ahead and find a beanie. Let's type in beanie. That's what we got here. So only singular search terms. Now, next step, okay, is clicking search. So let's click search up here, guys. Boom. Okay, this is good. This is good stuff here. So I know it's a lot, but please start taking notes and try to get this through, because this is really, really good stuff that'll help your consistency. Now, we have beanie right here, guys. Okay, now we want to make sure that the line graph meets our 3-point verification process, which 1 is currently above 35, 2 is above 50 at least half the time or more, and 3, the graph is increasing from start to finish. Okay, so with that being said, do you guys think this graph meets the 3-point verification? What do you guys think down below? Is it currently above 35? Is it above 50 at least half the time or more? And is the graph increasing from start to finish? Kieran says yes. Spot on, Kieran. Spot on. It does meet, because as you can see, currently above 35, we're at 75. Above 50 half the time or more, we're pretty much half the time above 50, which does meet. And graph is increasing from start to finish. Start to finish. Okay, so that meets our 3-point verification right there. So that's important. You guys understand that every single point I'm going to lay out to you in this system is there for a reason. Okay, it's there for a reason. I want you to be so strict that you will not market a product if it doesn't meet a piece of this system. What separates a real successful e-commerce entrepreneur from someone who's not that good at it, okay, is knowing when to cut a product and knowing when to cut their losses, and knowing that product research is just another day in the office, because you're going to be testing products in this business, and you want to be very, very strict with your product research, which is phenomenal. Okay. So after you go ahead and see that the 3-point verification is met, you're going to move on to the next portion. So you're going to go on Amazon.com. And what you're doing on Amazon.com is you're going to type in the same exact thing that we just typed into Google Trends, which was beanie, which is beanie. Simple enough, right? Simple enough. We're typing in beanie. Okay, so after this portion, we're going to go ahead and obviously click search and watch what happens, guys. We're going to see a bunch of different beanies. We're going to see a bunch of random beanies that really don't meet the product index too much, right? These really don't meet our BSF product index criteria. And that's one of the most important things, is really memorizing that criteria or having it written down and using it as you look through products. So this is where the extensions come in, ladies and gents. And what you're going to be doing here, okay, is clicking that little button on the top right. So in this example, we're going to be using the Amazon Unicorn Smasher extension, which is very, very inexpensive, if not cheap. When I got it, it was free, which is phenomenal. So this is Amazon Unicorn Smasher. Okay, you simply just go ahead and click on it. And what will happen, okay, is simply you're going to see that we have a whole drop down of products, which is phenomenal. What you guys want to make sure that you're doing is the following. Okay, so as you see all these random items, it's giving us the revenue, the sales, the rank, the price, the product, the review, the rating. It's awesome. Pretty cool. What you want to do, and I want to make sure you guys understand this, you want to go ahead and sort by highest revenue to lowest. You just click the top right here and automatically sort highest to lowest for you, which is exactly what I want you to do. Exactly what I want you to do. With that being said, let's go ahead and get a better close-up for you guys. When you're looking here, you can literally see how much money Amazon's making on certain products. And what a better place to start for your e-commerce research than Amazon, the biggest e-commerce retailer to ever exist. Okay, this is called building a real foundation on your research, okay? Using multi-platform data, multi-platform verification from Amazon, YouTube, watching all these different sources to get legitimate data and not just recommendations or hypotheses, okay? This is legitimate data. Now, with that being said, guys, okay, we're going to prioritize at a higher revenue floor. And what I mean by that is we're going to sort by highest to lowest, okay, but there's no revenue. There is no revenue floor, which means if an item has very, very little sales, we could still contribute. We could still consider the product if it meets our product index criteria. Okay, but we always prioritize our highest revenue to our lowest. So highest first, then lowest, okay? So highest to lowest, very important here, because that's going to have to do with your research flow as we go through to our next step. Now, next step, what we're gonna be doing here, ladies and gents, is the following, okay? And again, guys, this system is done over multi-8 figures in student sales, okay? So it's very, very important you guys write this stuff down. First thing we're gonna go ahead and do is actually highlight and go over a certain product, okay? So you can see here, we have a picture of the product as we hover over it. What you're doing in this specific step is actually going through and matching up your product index criteria with the product in question. So for this example, we see the product is very, very general. It looks male dominated, does not have anything special about it whatsoever, other than just being able to make someone warm in their ears. There's nothing special about this product at all. Does not meet our product index criteria, as you guys can see. Very, very general product. We want to go with items that have massive benefits and differentiation when compared to the rest of the market that they're in. This clearly does not have that. This one has a bit of cooler stitching, right? It's female dominated, a bit more female dominated, which looks phenomenal, but also there's no real result differentiation here, guys, okay? And it does not meet our product index criteria just because it has a different trim on the beanie. Don't let the trim on the beanie let you believe that the product is much better, because guess what? The result is still the same. Now, we have this product right here, okay? It looks like a more male-dominated product, not a fan of it, nothing different whatsoever. It does not meet our product index criteria other than, helping, make people warmer. But as you can see, it does not really meet the criteria like flying colors. Your product should meet the criteria with flying colors. You shouldn't have to force the product to meet the criteria. Massively, massively important. You shouldn't have to force it. It should be obviously meeting the criteria. And this clearly isn't. And then we got this. This changes everything. No, not really. Just because there's a puffball on the top of the head doesn't make anything different. Don't let the puffball make you test products just because you think there's a little pizzazz to them. The puffball doesn't do much. Doesn't do much, guys. So don't test products with a puffball on it, so to speak, right? Don't let the puffball jade your idea of a winning product. Okay, it's going to be important you guys understand this. I wanted to put the puffball there so you guys see that a puffball is cool, but it doesn't make a difference for product research. Now, this product, you guys tell me, does this have any specific differentiation compared to this product? Any real functionality difference? Any benefit difference? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. What's different about this product? This is a ponytail beanie. And as you guys can see, okay, it clearly has a hole in the top of it, which enables the female to go ahead and wear her ponytail out without having to redo her hair anymore, which is phenomenal. It's a massive, massive benefit. It's also women-dominated, guys, which means that you literally don't have to worry about selling it to male because it's only for females, which is exactly what I like to go ahead and market. It's improving the quality of life, improving confidence. Okay, they can look beautiful with their hair in the wind, with their beanie, which is phenomenal, and it solves the problem, right? Which is phenomenal. So it meets way more than 3 pieces of criteria. Okay, really easily. So understand that. You can see how this meets so much more easily, guys, compared to the last 4 or 5 that we went through, okay? These are the types of products that do well. And by the way, this was a winning product, okay? And hint, hint, market it this season, see what happens, okay? Every single year, products like this do well, okay? Little gift for you guys. Now, with that being said, this is the product that we're going to be moving forward with, okay? Which is phenomenal, okay? So as we go ahead and move through, we got Rashad is asking if it could be unisex. It could be unisex, but I would only spend my advertising dollars selling to females because the majority of people who buy the product will be female. So let's go ahead and click on the product, guys, and see where it takes us. Right on the Amazon page, which is phenomenal. You could use the Amazon page to go ahead and read through the description, see some ideas of the pricing, see what benefits they have listed there so you can be better informed on the product yourself. It's very, very important you guys do your due diligence on the product because you must know your product better than anyone in the market. Okay, so take a look at the description, read through it. Awesome. Next step. After Amazon, okay, we're going straight to AliExpress. And AliExpress will be no more than a product research tool at this point because I highly advise you to move to a fulfillment company. With that being said, we're going to type in Ponytail Beanie at the top of AliExpress to see if they can actually, if we could see what types of prices we could get for this product. Okay, so use singular terms and be careful with spelling and grammar because you type in one thing wrong and the whole thing goes to crap and you'll get different search results. So be very, very picky with how you type, guys, please. Okay. With that being said, you hit search, you're going to sort by orders. Okay. You want to start connecting with suppliers. It's very, very, very important. Okay. And you want to be aware of saturation as well. Every single time, okay, every single time that you see an actual order count on AliExpress on a single listing of 25K or more, it's going to be saturated. So you want to move those to the side. Okay. With that being said, okay, we're going to go ahead and click on the first option with the most orders for us, which is phenomenal. Okay, so as we go through here, you're going to take a look at the price, you're going to take a look at the variance, and you're also going to take a look at each variant because a lot of the time it's important that you understand that some variants will cost a bit more money. You just want to be aware of that. Okay, so it's important to be aware. So just click on the little buttons as well just to see what the difference in pricing are for colors and different variants. Very, very important, guys. Now, you also want to check the shipping costs, okay? The shipping costs, you want to obviously, choose whatever is quicker with whatever operation you are using, but I recommend to start off cheap, and then the moment you find consistency and know it's a winning product, you move over to a fulfillment, which is phenomenal. Okay, now, as you're looking through here, you want to understand that you have to know how to price your product, okay? You want to attempt to 2 to 3x your costs from AliExpress, okay, while attempting to undercut Amazon. You don't have to undercut Amazon. You just want to be in the ballpark with them. Okay. So you don't have to undercut them. You want to be in the ballpark. So let's say our price here is $3.22. Okay. Now, $3.22 plus $1.99 for the shipping, which is what we checked, is around $5.21. We want to round up to 6 and add $1. Our cost, our break-even cost will be $7. We want to be a bit conservative on that as well because we want to give ourselves room. Okay, so $7 is what we're going to call ourselves our cost, and we'll 2 to 3x our cost. So we'll go, anywhere from $14.95 to maybe $29, whatever we could get for the product, determining what the results that we get based on split testing. Okay, so that's how you're going to determine your pricing. I recommend starting off lower at first just to get more data influx and then really find more consistency as you move forward. Then you could start raising the price down the road. Okay, so I see some questions about 25K down here. So what the 25K means, okay, is if this down here says 25,000 orders, that means that this specific product is probably saturated and you should probably move on. So that's what the 25K mark actually means. 25,000 orders on a single listing equals saturation. Okay. Now that we've developed our cost here for the actual Ponytail Beanie, what you guys want to go ahead and do is go to our next section, which is Facebook Audience Insights. You reach this by going in your Ads Manager, clicking the burger at the top left, and then clicking the button that says Audience Insights, which is phenomenal. What you're going to be doing here is clicking that button. You'll see a screen that looks just like this. What you're going to be doing is typing in the closest keyword to whatever you're selling in that little interest box down below. This is going to help us allocate our budget to the most profitable age group that we could possibly find in our market. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and type in beanie right there. And when we do that, this graph comes up and we see it's 82% women dominated, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's the exact type of market we want to be in. What you're going to do here is understand that you're going to go ahead and look at every single age group demographic percentage. 10% or more we'll market to. Anything below 10%, we're not going to market to. Therefore, instead of 18 all the way to 65 plus, we'll go 18 to 64 plus. That's where our money's best spent. But you're never going to want to market below the age of 22. So we'll go 22 to 64. But also, you want to have marketing logic. And when you think about it, you think a 64-year-old will use a ponytail beanie or buy one as frequently as a 54-year-old? Probably not. So we're going to go ahead out on a limb, use marketing logic, and stick with 54. So we're going with 22 to 54 as our age demographic, with a combination of 10% rulings and our marketing logic is how we derive that, which is phenomenal. With that being said, okay, we're going to go ahead with 22 all the way to 54. That's our age group. So once you got that, you're going to move forward. Next is you're going on YouTube. You're typing in the name of your product. And the goal on YouTube, because remember guys, we use multi-platform verification to see if our product is actually hot or not. You don't need to find the same exact product on YouTube. You just got to find a passionate community of people revolving around your product, okay? And you're looking for 5 videos with 5,000 views or more in 1 year. And clearly, we have that here, which is phenomenal. Okay, so 5 videos in the past 1 year with 5,000 views that have to do with your product. Doesn't have to be the same exact product, okay, but it has to be in the market, in the realm of it. Notice that we're seeing a lot of do-it-yourself types of beanie creations. It's not our exact product, but it's the idea of it. That makes it qualify. That's proper. We'll move forward. 5 videos with 5,000 views in the past year. Perfect. Now, with that being said, after we go ahead and see that YouTube is validated, we're going to move on to our next portion of the system, which is watch count by eBay. What this does is it allows you to see how many people are watching certain products on eBay, so you can literally see what is doing well and what's not. Another piece of our multi-platform verification. Notice we're taking all these data points from all these different assets and putting them into one to see if the product will sell. And that's how we find this much consistency with our product testing. So first and foremost, you're going to make sure you have US selected, ladies and gents. Once you do, you're going to type in Ponytail Beanie and then click the button that says Show Me. We're choosing US because the US is the best representation of a buying market. Show Me. We're looking for 5 listings, okay, with 200 watchers or more per manufacturer, which is phenomenal. As you can see, this clearly meets the criteria, okay? So literally, very similar to YouTube, but you're looking for only 200 watchers, okay, and 5 listings. This is showing us that there's massive, massive, massive demand for the product, which is amazing. And once you validate this piece, you're going to move on to the next step, which is going on google.com/sheets. You want to create your own sheet right here, ladies and gents, which is phenomenal, okay? This is going to allow you to put all of your data in one spot. So we have our product name, our niche, Amazon revenue, age demographic, Amazon URL, and AliExpress URL. We have Ponytail Beanie, about 118K on the revenue from Unicorn Smasher, age demographic 22 to 54, and our access links. What I suggest you to do to find the most consistency that you can possibly have is fill in the blank and do so with 20 products before you market one of them. Marketing, okay, in conjunction with other products, one after another, will build up your momentum. And the name of the game here is momentum. It's very, very important you guys understand that testing is the name of the game, but how do you make it tangible? People say, yeah, testing is the name of the game, but how do we test? You test using the 20-20 rule, which is getting 20 products, using this product research system, the Beyond Six Figures product research system, and enabling yourself to go ahead and get 20 products locked and loaded. So you have 20 products on that list. Then you start creating targeting sheets for them, ad videos, landing pages, and you don't launch a single ad until you have all 20 ready to go. That will get you the consistency you need and the momentum you need to actually find success in this business. And so many people don't do this, which is why so many people fail. Okay, so with that being said, that's my product research system, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions whatsoever, I think Jared and Brad are also going to let you ask questions and whatnot, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. Very good system. The replay will be posted. And I know I went through fast, but it's good stuff for you guys to actually find real consistency in your business.
Okay, Justin, that was awesome. There's a ton of information in that presentation. There were a lot of little rules to follow, a lot of tools to use. And the reason that Justin shows all these different ways to search for products is to validate whether or not a product could be a winning product. Now, a lot of times, as e-commerce entrepreneurs, we use our own opinions. We'll see something, for example, the beanie with a little puff ball on top. We'd be like, oh, I think that'll sell because I love puffballs, or my mom likes this, or I don't think this will sell because it's ugly. Well, to be honest with you, your opinion on products really has no correlation to whether or not that they'll do well. So Justin's method here is actually validating products before you go ahead and spend money testing them. And a lot of times, if you do the product research soon, you think about it this way. If you didn't do any product research, if you're just picking products and testing them and running ads, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do this, nothing wrong with it, but maybe 1 in 20, 1 in 30, 1 in 40, sometimes 1 in 50 will be a winner where it's really profitable and you can crush ads with it. But if you implement a product research method, if you're doing the diligence, you're doing all the back end work, you're preparing for launch, right? Imagine you're launching something and you just do it with no preparation. Now you're getting everything, you're validating everything, you're listing all the products that you've done this work, you're putting energy into researching and validating. Now, let's say you make a list of 10 products that follow all these rules, your odds of success won't be 1 in 20, 1 in 30, 1 in 40, 1 in 50. They might be 1 in 5, or 1 in 4. And think about how much money that'll save you. If you spend $100 to test a product and you only have to test 4 to find a winner, you're only spending $400. But if you have to test 50 products, then you're going to be spending $5,000, which a lot of people do. A lot of people don't, get it right off the first shot. So, Justin, awesome presentation. This information is Justin's system. You're not going to find this just anywhere around the internet. This is all good stuff. So I know a lot of you guys had questions. We're going to go ahead and start taking questions. So let's go ahead. And I want to test and see if we can call people up. If you want to come up and get on video and talk to us, go ahead and raise your hand in the panelist area, and we're going to try to call you up. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and answer some questions. So, Justin, first question from Kamal. He says, hey, Justin, how many products do you suggest that we test at the same time? And how long should it take to test one product before moving on to the next?
Test one product at a time and use the 3-day rule to go ahead and make sure that you are killing in a timely manner. The 3-day rule consists of day 1, no view content, kill it. Day 2, no add to cart, kill it. And day 3, no purchase, kill it. Test one at a time and go on a 3-day rule to make sure that you kill the product in 3 days at most. And the moment you kill it, you move on to your next one. If you get a sale within the 3 days, you're going to duplicate that ad set 5 times in the same campaign to build you out an actual infrastructure of consistency with that particular ad set, getting more pockets of audiences to your pixel. So in short, the answer is one product at a time. We use the 3-day rule.
So just to elaborate, if you guys were on the last Zendrop live call, and we didn't plan this, but the same thing that I said on the lazy man testing method. It's a 3-day rule, and you're testing one product at a time. What I like to do with testing is I literally call it the lazy man method because it's really simple. You're launching 30 ad sets, all the same, 18 plus US, no targeting. And they're $3 each. After the first day, if there's no view content, you kill the ad set. After the second day, if there's no add to cart, you kill the ad set. And after the third day, if there's no purchase, you kill the ad set. And for me, at the end of 3 days, if you have at least 5 ad sets that have purchases, then that's a good indicator that your product could be a winning product, and you go ahead and test more audiences. Brad, we got a bunch of hands raised. Do you want to see if we can call up, let's try calling up Mike, since we know Mike and we want to test out, see if we can call people up here.
Yep, I'm just going to hit allow to talk. And Mike, you can flip your video on if you want. If not, all good. You could unmute yourself.
You want to stop sharing your screen, Justin, so we can see everyone?
Oh, shit. Yep. Wow, it got dark.
Testing. Am I on? Wait, where's my
Yes,
video?
sir.
You're live, Mike.
No, I'm not, dude. My video's not on. My video's not on.
Well, your voice is live.
My voice-
Oh, you have to enable his video probably, Brad. And guys, bear with us. This is our 3rd time doing this on Zoom, and every time it's getting a little bit better. So
No, there's nowhere for me to do it. I think Mike just has to do it.
Really? That's weird. Maybe it's just because of the way that this kind of Zoom call's set up. I don't see that feature. Either
Eventually.
way. Yeah, right?
All right, we'll get that sorted out.
Yeah. Either way, all good. What's going on, guys?
Mike.
So By the way, your product research method is awesome. I have a product researcher that's actually on the call, just to soak in more knowledge. But so thank you for that. Quick question for you. In your experience, what if you're like impatient and you're like, geez, one product and wait 3 days to see results?
Right.
Have you had experience with, 5 at a time, 6 at a time, right?
Right. So for someone like myself, someone like yourself, Mike, who is very, you're good at e-com, so to speak, right? You could do like 5 or 10 a day, but I would not recommend doing that to anyone who's new or hasn't used the system at all. Use one at a time if you're new. If you're an e-com stud and you already made like multi-6 figures, $1 million a month or whatever, then you can start doing 10 at a time. But I'd recommend for newbies, 1 at a time, advanced, 5 to 10 at a time. You could get fancy with it.
Okay, sounds like a game plan. I've heard other marketers have varying opinions before. Had an argument with one about 2 months ago saying that it kind of breaks down if you touch too many at the same time. I'm like, well, that's just not true in my experience. But
right. I've done that more times than I.
Good to know. Good to know. And it's also good for anybody else on the call who's impatient and maybe don't have the most success, but know at least how to manage more than one product on a Facebook account at a time. So that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say like whatever you're comfortable with, if you're comfortable testing that many products, go for it. If you're asking the question, means you're probably not too comfortable. So I think that was good advice to stick with one if you're kind of thinking about it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's it for me, at least at this time. So I appreciate you for that, man. Thank you.
My pleasure, Mike. Nice to talk to you.
Mike, thanks for jumping on. So guys, the format that we'll do here is we'll go into the question and answer box. We'll answer 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll call up the people who have their hands raised, kind of like a call-in, and we'll just go with the flow from there. So I'll pick another question here. We got a question from Russ McGinnis. He said, have you ever used tools like AdSpy, Justin?
Yeah, but I don't like to use them because everyone uses them.
So essentially, you're finding winning products, but other people are also finding them. So you're competing with other sophisticated marketers. And just so you guys know, the way it works is if a lot of people are advertising one product, Facebook really only has so much inventory where they can serve ads for similar types of products and similar interests. Even if you're not targeting interests, Facebook knows where to serve your product based on what kind of product it is. So if there's even just 5 other or 10 other people selling the product and they're spending the big bucks, the 50, 25, 50K a day, it's going to be really hard to compete. So that's
extremely true.
It's good advice. We'll take another 1 or 2 questions here, and then we'll try to call up Brad in a minute. Let's call up Kamal next because he had his hand raised first. So she just purchased. Okay, so do you have some automation to do research like this? Brent asked. I think that's a good question.
Well, no, we don't, because this is a manual system that I get VAs to go through, and I'd recommend you instead of looking for an automated solution, you get someone to do it for you if you want, or you do it yourself. This is something that you can't really get with automation. Being that the search results are changing every single time that you're looking, and that's the beauty of the system at the end of the day.
So, guys, as your business grows, you can start outsourcing more stuff, which actually allows you to grow exponentially because you could work on more things. And if you're getting started and let's say you have, $25,000 in the bank or $50,000 in the bank, and you want to risk $5,000 or $10,000 and you want to move fast, right? A lot of people who have had success or are older or are, not just trying to start from the beginning, want to move faster. Sure. Hire a virtual assistant on Upwork for $5 an hour to do this for you and pay them $50 a day and get a list of 100 products and test 5 of them a day. It's going to cost you more and it's going to be riskier, but you're going to get results faster. So it just comes down to your personal level of risk and taste for moving fast. We'll go ahead and do, actually, Brad, let's call up Kamal because he's got a bunch of questions here and it would probably be easier to just call him up.
Cool. Kamal, you just got to unmute your microphone and you should be good to go.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
It was great. And Justin, that was really nice, man. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I just had a simple question about So once I select a product to taste, and I have a question about like, is it okay to stock different interests in the like I mean like stocking different interests in the same ad set instead of like having single interest in my ad set? What do you
Yeah.
guys think about that?
Yeah, so I do something called algorithmic targeting, which is basically a mixture of 12 different keywords. I'm sorry, 12 different audiences, right? Ranging from like something like lazy man method, ranging to narrowing. Yeah, but I like to go ahead and target anywhere from 10 to 12 audiences. Some are single interest, but some will also be stacked.
So essentially, some of your ad sets have multiple audiences in them, and some of them will have one.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm doing 12, I call it the 33% rule. 4 of them will have narrows, 4 of them will not have narrows, and 4 of them will be single interest.
Great.
So like even with stacking, like when I'm stacking, like I'm not just stacking like random interests. Like I do like I only stack like in brands interest, like brands in the same ad set. Then I stack like maybe magazines in a different ad set, so that I can know once I get like sales, like maybe 5 sales in one ad set, I can know the interest that work for me instead of
Exactly
just
what
like.
algorithmic targeting is, Kamal, actually. So very well done.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks, man.
No, likewise. Thank you for hopping on.
Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, man.
And
Appreciate
guys,
it.
for anyone who is listening to that, just also know that when even if you're running ads to no targeting or to audiences that have 10 different audiences stacked, you're still feeding Facebook the data on the buyers. And for those of you who are on the last call, I explained this. When you're a user on Facebook and you're somebody who's going to get served ads, how does Facebook know who to serve? Well, the way you could visualize it is like myself, Brad, Justin, we're all like a little ball of an algorithm with thousands of data points. It's very sophisticated using artificial intelligence. But if I buy something and Brad buys something and Justin buys something, Facebook could take the commonalities from those thousands of data points and derive something from it that will tell them who else to target with the ads to get better performance. So no matter who you're targeting, if you're getting purchases through your pixel, Facebook's going to get smarter and it's going to actually improve your campaign.
And there's so many different strategies that I think it's usually a good idea, like Justin said, really we're just trying to eliminate as many variables as possible by testing as many things as possible, right? So like even at that level of stacking interest, Justin's doing it with 30% of his ad sets. He's doing something else with 30%. He's doing broad with 30%. So we're just trying to eliminate missing any potential audiences that might be good for that one.
Hitting every single possibility. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're just trying to, that's the word testing, right? We're testing all the different variables that could possibly give us a winning campaign. And so that's what we need to do in the testing phase. We need to test.
Okay, so we got a lot of questions coming in. So I'm going to pick a couple more questions and then we'll call up the next person. Brad, you could just pick whoever you think is good to pick next. So we answered that question. So let's see. Selvaraj asks, do you only use Facebook or are you also using Google Ads, Justin?
We also use Google Ads. It just so happens that one of my partners on my team is like a Google Ads absolute whiz, and we use Google Ads as well.
So one little nugget here, guys, that will get you a humongous ROI on Google is using search terms for the name of your store. So if somebody saw your ad and they clicked off of it and they're like, oh shit, I want to buy that product, but I don't remember it, and they just Google the name of your store, you want to come up first and you'll get a 20x ROI on it. Although you might only get a couple sales a day. You're basically just like sweeping in the scraps of people that you can easily be selling to.
Someone just asked in the chat real quick, they asked, can you please explain stacking? Very simply, it just means putting more than one interest into an ad set, right? Into the same ad set. So you're stacking that audience. But instead of selecting or, you're selecting and. So you're saying people who like fishing and mountain climbing and skiing, right? So the audience is getting bigger. You're stacking interests on top of each other. It's not going to be as specific, but they're layered on top of each other.
Cool, Brad, do you want to call someone else up?
Yep, Tamika has had her hand up for a while, so we will bring you up. What's going on, Tamika? Just unmute your microphone and you should be good to go.
Hey guys, so I am new to e-commerce. I actually set up a store with branded US products as well as dropship products I found from AliExpress. My thing is I'm about to start running my ads, and what's the proper budget? I understand about using different keywords to create the ad sets, right? And create audiences. But what's the right budget to start to test the audience? I've heard $50 to $100, and then I've heard $5. So if I'm creating 5 ad sets within a campaign, what's the proper budget to start with to scale?
Can I take this one, guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Tamika, don't let anyone tell you you got to put it at 100, you got to put it at 10, you got to put it at $5 is all you need. I've been doing this for so long, and 4 or 5 years ago, people would tell, oh, you got to start doing $10, but no, $5 is all you need to do, even for products upwards of $100. $5. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
Got it. Because I use different apps, right? So I have apps that give me a private label video. And then I have apps that will give me the product descriptions. And so with doing the private label videos though, I'm just like learning how to put my brand name on the video to launch the ad. So I found creative ways of having to circumvent paying somebody to create ads for me by having access to certain apps that has it already done for me. But the budget and setting up is what. So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamika. Thank you for joining. On the note of getting custom videos, things like that, this is for beginners and actually even people who are just kind of struggling but have been doing it for a long time. If you're testing and you want to get results, start with the lowest hanging fruit. Don't invest a lot of your energy into making videos and images and perfecting your website and custom pages. Don't do any of that stuff until you start to see the results, at least. So you use the lazy man testing method, you get a few sales, then you go ahead and you make the video. Then you go ahead and you make the custom landing pages. Because what happens is a lot of people, they're like, oh, like I know I need to do all this stuff. And you're actually subconsciously procrastinating from actually testing. You're like, I need to, change my URL or make this video perfect or whatever you're doing. And you're putting a bunch of energy in. And as I said earlier, the odds of a product succeeding, even with the product research method, are still at best 1 in 4. On a high scale, if you're not doing great research, it's 1 in 50. So imagine putting all that energy into something and having to do it 50 times. Who here is going to be able to just keep going and going? So what ends up happening is that it fails, and then you start to associate all the hard work that you put into building things with discouragement, and then you end up associating e-commerce in general with discouragement. And then if you associate this business with discouragement, you're not going to do it and you're going to give up. So moral of the story is move quickly, use whatever assets you can get your hands on to test. And then once things work, then invest your energy in the custom videos, the custom photos, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point. Real quick, let's go back to Tamika's question real quick, just to clarify something that I think is going to be really helpful for people. The $5 a day is okay because you're using this 3-day system, right? Of no view content, no add to cart, no purchase, right? So I think that's really an important point to point out. That's why $5 a day works, because we're using that system. If you have no metrics to look at, you're going to say, well, I spent $5. What am I looking at, right? You got to look at the data to tell you some sort of story. So if it doesn't have a view content after day 1, if it doesn't have an add to cart after day 2, and if it doesn't have a purchase after day 3, using that $5 a day budget, that's what you're looking at. Those are the metrics that you're looking at to know what steps to take next.
So that was great, Brad. I agree with you. We got a bunch of people asking if they're going to get links to a replay to this or a way to view this again. The answer is simply yes. We're going to be posting this on YouTube. It'll be on our podcast. You can listen to it anywhere that you listen to podcasts. And just to clarify, guys, Zendrop Live is a new thing we're doing. and it literally only exists to bring you guys value. So we're never going to be like, oh, you know, your replay is only available for 2 days because we want you to buy something. It'll be there. You can watch it whenever you want. You can ask us whatever questions you want. And all we ask from you is if you do enjoy it, if you are getting value from it, tell your friends about it, you know, forward the email to someone else who you think would get value from this, because our only intentions here are to serve you guys. So yes, you will get a replay, and yes, you can watch this again and learn from it again. Let's take a couple of other questions, and then we'll call up the next person. So let's see what we got here. Russ asked, how does this system work if the product isn't on Amazon for Unicorn Smasher?
If you're looking for a product research system that's very, very consistent, you want to go by those standards and typically only move forward with products that go through the entirety of the system. Let's say you have a product that you want to put in the system to get validated and it's not on Amazon. That's okay, as long as it meets the rest of the actual product research points.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see.
There's a good question down here about ad sets at different budgets. So it says, do ad sets with different dollar amounts per day perform differently? So typically you're going to use manual automatic bidding, right, as your bid structure. That's just what most people do. It's on by default. If you have more money allocated towards the daily budget, Facebook will bid differently for for your ads. So they will perform slightly differently with different daily budgets. That's kind of one of the key things in finding when you're scaling, to try to dial in your daily budgets and try to figure out what the most optimal daily budgets are. But typically that stabilizes over time with more purchases, but to test $5 is fine.
Cool. So David asked, do you recommend influencer marketing for newbies who don't have money for Facebook ads yet? I'm going to answer this real quick, and then I'll let Justin say his part. If you don't have money for Facebook ads yet, you probably shouldn't get too deep into a new business. I would recommend saving up some money. It's really hard to get off the ground when you have no foundation. I always recommend people definitely have some money in the bank when they get started with any new business, because there's a difference between operating in an energy state of survival versus thriving. And if everything you're doing is to just survive and be able to like make enough money to go get Chipotle and then like not know where your next meal is coming from, like you shouldn't be running a business. You're just going to be doing things wrong and you're going to be scraping along. Nothing wrong with a job and saving up your money and doing things right. I don't know if you guys have any other insights.
I totally agree with that point, honestly.
Yep, I totally agree. You're going to make decisions, like Jared said, based out of fear and survival, and those aren't going to be good decisions for business most of the time.
Cool. Brad, you want to call up someone else?
Yep. Allison's had her hand raised for a while, so we'll pull Allison up. Allison, how are you? Just unmute your mic.
I think I'm unmuted. Hi, how are you?
Yes, you are. We're doing great. How are you?
Great, very well, thank you. I'm new to dropshipping and to Zendrop, and my question is actually specifically about Zendrop in what we're doing here, because I set up the store and then I've picked a lot of products out of Zendrop and then some products out of AliExpress with a little research. And my question is, if the products have been on Zendrop for a while, does that mean that we're not going to make, it's like, it's oversaturated?
So I could kick this off and then let Brad elaborate afterwards. Not necessarily by any means. We have a ton of products on Zendrop. We have a ton of products. You know, if you wanted to sell a product and it's not on Zendrop, we have an auto import feature. So like tons of people are importing products right off the bat, not making any sales on them. There's like 100,000 products, and we're about to add another. By the way, we're about to add another like 200,000 products that ship directly from the US to Zendrop. So if it's on Zendrop, it definitely doesn't mean it's saturated by any means.
Okay, I think that was really my question, because I didn't know if it was like, okay, this is the best of the best and you should pick this, and then it's something that people have already sold and you're not going to be able to sell.
Yeah, no, it's a valid thought process. You know, there's so many products on there and there's new ones being added all the time that I wouldn't say that that is at all an indicator of something being saturated. It just happens to be a product that's been added. And there are products on Zendrop that have, you know, multiple listings for the same product just because it may have been sourced differently. But there are no that's no indicator that it's saturated by any means.
Great. I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison. And to elaborate too, like if you guys wanted to sell a product and you search it on Zendrop and it's not there, we do have a feature where you can take an AliExpress link, you can paste it in Zendrop, and then that'll indicate our team that we need to source it. And typically after you make your first sale, we can source it for you in 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that we're sourcing that from the AliExpress supplier. We don't source from any AliExpress suppliers. All we're doing is using the information that's on the AliExpress listing to communicate with our fulfillment team that we're going to need to source this product. And then they use that information to source the product through our own fulfillment company. So absolutely no Chinese AliExpress suppliers.
Yeah, actually, as of about 2 months ago, we opened up our own fulfillment company. So we have our own sourcing team, purchasing team, logistics. So we are confident that we can, beat out any of the AliExpress suppliers. All right, let's continue onward. Let's get a couple other questions here. Let's see. Here's a question about Facebook that will be for Justin. Should you test with purchase conversion objective right off the bat, or can you use PPE engagement to get cheaper data and see whether the audience is engaged with the product?
PPE is you letting money on fire if you don't know the product is actually proven yet. Always go with purchase conversion no matter what. If you want to go ahead and get more engagement to that ad, go start a new campaign, then run a PPE, but consider yourself letting that money from the PPE on fire just to have better engagement on the ad, which can improve conversion rate by a few points at scale. So always purchase.
Awesome. So Marty asked, where did you go on Facebook when you did a search to determine age and gender? Justin, do you want to elaborate on that?
Audience insights. You click on the top left, the burger, the drop down, all tools, then look under assets and report, audience insights.
Cool. Somebody asked if we have a presentation to explain how Zendrop works. I'm assuming there's a help article or there's a video. We can post that in the chat box here in a little bit.
There's quite a few of them. If you just Google Zendrop, how to use it, or anything else that you're curious about, it'll pop up.
Bader asked, what is the best strategy for CBO, Justin?
I like to start off, well, for example, I like to go ahead and have 5 proven audiences, take those 5 proven audiences from automatic bidding, move them into $150 CBO campaign. If it does well, I'll continually increase the budget at midnight by 20% every single day that it does well.
Cool. Actually, yeah, Russ has another really good question that will be very relatable to a lot of the people who are like intermediate that have been selling but haven't had a breakthrough yet, maybe have done $20,000 in sales but haven't profited yet. How do you break through getting a few sales and finding consistency? Like, how do you, let's say you're spending $1,000 a day doing 2,000 in sales, you're making a little bit of money. Like, how do you take it to the next level?
Really just ironing out what's working, right? Focus on needle movers, right? So let's say your product is doing very, very well and it's only doing well with people who are interested in cat magazines from the US. Focus on them, market to them. That's how you scale. Spend more budget, spend more money on the people who are buying from you at the highest rate for the lowest CPA. That's how you really scale. Spend the money that, really take the money that you're spending elsewhere on people who aren't your ideal buyers and divert it to the people who are more prone to actually buy your product, especially because at this point, you probably are seeing who's buying from you and you got to utilize the data at hand. So utilizing the data that you're getting access to by getting sales is half the battle of actually scaling. So using what you have access to.
Yeah. And aside from that, two things that you want to focus on is improving your conversion rate and improving your average order value. For those of you who don't know what that is, your conversion rate simply means the rate at which conversions occur on your website. If there's 100 visitors and you get 2 sales, it's a 2% conversion rate. If you get 10 sales, it's a 10% conversion rate. So there's things you can do, changing the heading, the title, the images, the color, the buy it now button. There's tons of different variables you can change. I'm not going to get into that all right now because that is a very long topic. And then average order value is simply what it sounds like. How much money are people spending on average when they order from your store? If you do the math, if you can increase your conversion rate like from 2% to 4%, you're getting twice as many buyers. And if you can increase your average order value from $30 to $50, you're getting an extra $20 per every buyer. So if you're spending money on ads, it'll take you from losing money to very profitable if done correctly.
Yeah, I think honestly that was one of the biggest things that came up when we had our coaching program. That's where most people found that jump up where they were able to scale and see and do big numbers and see their business grow. It's so much easier to increase your conversion rate from 3% to 6% on your website rather than tweaking with your Facebook ads, creating new audiences, and trying all these different things on Facebook that are really going to only move the needle maybe 5 or 10%. You're moving it 200% if you can take your conversion rate from 3 to 6, right? It's like cutting your costs in half, 50% on Facebook. That's never going to happen, right? There's only so much you can do on Facebook. You have a lot more impact doing something like increasing average cart value or conversion rate.
Awesome. Hang on one sec. Okay, you want to call up? So we're going to wrap this up here in just a few minutes because just for the sake of everyone's time. Again, anyone who tuned in late, I knew I sent out, we sent an email out like kind of short notice. There will be a replay. It'll be on our YouTube channel, on our podcast. It'll get emailed out to you. Tom just asked when it will be. Definitely soon in the next couple days. Brad, you want to call up one more person?
Yeah, I'm going to call up Brent.
Questions.
Yeah, I'm going to call up Brent. Brent, what's up?
You were on, and you got eyeballs on you, Brent, but your microphone is muted.
Don't blow it, Brent.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How's it going, Brent? How can we help you?
Oh, this is very good training. This is the first time I've been on here, so it's very useful. All that you guys went through was very helpful to me. So I just need to put some things in practice here.
Did you have any questions, or did you just have your hand raised?
Well, you answered my question earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. Good to hear your voice. Thank you for.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, Brent.
To meet you guys. This was very helpful, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
Let's. Is there anyone else we want to call up before we wrap up here? We got Taha.
Cool. Yeah, we'll call Taha up. Taha, you are up, and please tell me we didn't butcher your name too bad.
I don't think you could mispronounce that.
Taha.
You never know.
Taha, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself. All right, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taha, you have lost your spot up here. Let's call up Kieran. He's had a lot of good questions.
Cool. Kieran, you are up.
Hey, it's Kieran here. I'm a girl, by the way.
Sorry.
That's all good. It's mostly a boy's name, but listen, my question would be to you guys at Zendrop. If we start scaling a product, and I'm here in Australia, if I'm marketing to an Australian audience, is there a way that through scale that shipment arrives faster and prices that I purchase from you can be bought at a better deal, a lower amount?
Yes. So, oh, sorry. I thought you were done there. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry. Yeah. So I'm finished now.
No worries. Yes. Luckily, to Australia, we ship super fast from our Chinese warehouses. Typically, even regular shipping that you don't have to pay any extra for is delivering in like 6 to 8 days to Australia, from what I've seen, which is really nice. But for anyone that's doing large volume, if you just put a message into our support team, we'll get you connected with our premium support staff who handle our biggest clients, and we can do price negotiations, custom packaging, private labeling, US warehousing if you're sending a lot of orders to the US and you want to cut down on shipping time. So we, yes, to answer your question, yes to all the above.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been a fantastic webinar. I've loved it.
Thanks
awesome.
for joining,
thank you so
man.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of really good questions. Thank you.
We hope you continue to join the calls. I mean, this is a new thing we're doing, but we want to be here for you guys. You know, we really want to provide value. There's not too many places where you're going to get just value-based content. A lot of people are, you know, got something to sell you or a reason to have you on. You know, we're just really passionate about creating lives of freedom and just being fulfilled and having a good business to fuel your life is really important, because without money, it's really hard to live a life of freedom. So we want to help you guys get there. All right, guys, we are going to wrap this one up for the fifth or sixth time. Yes, we will be sending out a replay. Don't you worry. Please, guys, give us a big thank you in the chat box for Justin. Show some gratitude. You know, Justin really came on. He just shared his whole system with you guys for no reason other than to help you guys out. And it was really awesome. Justin, thank you so much for having you on, man.
Absolutely phenomenal. I would love to be back in the near future if the ladies and gents would love to see me back.
Guys, we will certainly have you back on, Justin. Guys, give Brad a big thank you for putting this together and just always being there. If anyone has ever reached out to Zendrop or had any issues or worked with us at a higher level, Brad's always there and you know, just crushes it and puts so much passion into his work. So thank you, Brad. Guys, thank you from me for joining. We had an awesome time with you. Awesome questions, great energy, and we look forward to doing this again. So have a great night or day if you're in Australia, and we will see you on the next call.
Have a good one, guys.